Hello students, this is a video on the topic tests for QA at Bodhee Prep. Now, the idea of these tests is once you go through the basic concepts of a topic, you would want to see whether you're able to apply those concepts in a test or not. So that is where you take these tests. There are multiple tests available on each topic. With every test, there is a video which gives you the solutions of the questions in the test and a brief analysis of how you could have gone about the test as an actual test. So the kind of attempt and the time that you should have spent. There are 200. So once you've given the test, you go through the video. There are more than 200 such topic tests available on the Bodhee Prep Android app. The link for the app is in the description below. So make sure you download the app and make full use of these tests. This video is on linear equations. This is the second test that we are discussing. Test number 2. In terms of analysis, I think a moderate level of difficulty test with about 6 to 7 questions net correct out of 10, giving us a 95 plus percentile. The attempt time again would be just over 20 minutes, so about 20 to 22 minutes should be good enough to go through the test, look at the questions that we need and get a 95 plus percentile. If you look at the question, the first question says, Rohan and 5 of his friends contributed equal money and hired a car to go. So 6 people were going, had contributed equal money. At least one of his friends pulled out of the trip at the last moment. So they decided to divide the expenses between the rest of the people. During the car journey, the car required some minor repair for which 250 was paid extra. The total traveling expenses, including repair charges, amounted to 410 per person. If each of the 6 friends had contributed an integral amount more than 100 initially, what was their total contribution? Now, if each of the friends was supposed to contribute X rupees, in that case, the total contribution would have been 6x rupees, 6 people contributing rupees X each, plus 250 rupees was spent for the repairs. And therefore, 6x plus 250 becomes the amount that is to be paid by the people who finally went for the trip. The people who went for the trip ended up paying 410 rupees. So now at least one of the people did not go. So the number of people who went, suppose, is n. This has to be equal to 410n. Now what I'm saying is n could take different values. N could be 5. In which case we have 6x plus 250 is equal to 410 into 5, which is 2050. So 6x comes out to 1800. X comes out to 300. Integral value more than 100. So this is possible. If we put n is equal to 4, in that case 6x plus 250 is equal to 410 into 4, which will be 1640. 6x becomes 1640 minus 250, 1440, 1390. Now 1390 is not divisible by x, so we will not get an integer here, so this does not happen. If I put n is equal to 3, 6x plus 250 becomes 410 into 3, which is 1230. 6x becomes 1230 minus 250, which is 980. 980 is not divisible by 6, so x will not be integral, not possible therefore. If we put n is equal to 2, that 4 people did not go and only 2 people were going, 6x plus 250 comes out to 820. 410 into 2. So 6x will be 420 minus 250, which is 600, 570. Now, at this point, x goes below 100. So obviously, this case is also not possible. Hence, the only possibility is when 5 people went and each person was supposed to pay 300 rupees, which is more than 100. In this case, that total initial contribution would have been 6 into 300, which is 1800 becomes my answer. Option A. Actually, this is a moderate to difficult level of question. Would take time to solve because, again, at least 1% did not go. So there are multiple cases which need to be checked because one of the options also cannot be determined. So I will have to check. Even if I get the answer at n is equal to 5, I will have to ensure that there are no other options possible. Rahul met 3 of his friends, Bhavish, Goel, and Yogendra, on a Sunday evening. First, he met Bhavish, to whom he gave 1/5 of the chocolates he had and an additional 12 chocolates. He then met Goyal, to whom he gave one third of the chocolates he had and an additional 12 chocolates, 6 chocolates. He then met Yugendra and gave him half of the chocolates he had and an additional 2 chocolates. What is the difference between the number of chocolates he gave to Goyal and Yugendra? Now, we do not know what is the number of chocolates that is left with him in the end. So we'll not start from the end. We'll start from the top. We'll say suppose initially, the number of chocolates with Rahul is, we have to find out 1/5, 1/3 and half of x. So let's start with 30x. What happens when he meets Bhavish? He gives Bhavish 1/5. 1/5 of 30x plus 12 additional chocolates. So Bhavish gets 6x plus 12. At this point, the chocolates left will be 24x minus 12, 30x minus 6x plus 12. He then met Goyal, whom he gave one third. So for Goyal, it will be one third of 24x minus 12 and an additional 6, so plus 6. This will be 8x minus 4 plus 6, which is 8x minus 2, 8x plus 2. And therefore, now the chocolates left will be 24x minus 12 minus 8x plus 2. So this is 24 minus 8x, 16x, minus 12 minus 2 is minus 14. And therefore, the number of chocolates left is 16x minus 14. To Yogendra, he gives half of this, half of 16x minus 14 plus additional 2 chocolates. So this will become half of this, 8x minus 7 plus 2, which is 8x minus 5. And then he's left with some chocolates. That is not our interest, because we have to find the difference between the number of chocolates he gave to Goyal and Yogendra. Goyal got 8x plus 2. Yogendra got 8x minus 5. And therefore, the difference will simply be 8x, 8x cancel. 2 minus minus 5. 2 plus 5, which is 7, becomes my answer. Option C. Again, I would call this a moderate to difficult level of question, because on the face of it, the answer seems cannot be determined. But the values that we get are such that the x part gets cancelled and we get a definitive answer. Easily 2 to 2.5 minutes to solve it. Mr. Khan, a political leader, gathered 100 attendees for one of his meetings. He never allows girls to attend his meetings, while women are allowed to attend his meetings only if they are married and come to the meeting with their husbands. Also, at least half of the men who come to his meetings, come along with their wives. So if 4 men are coming, at least 2 will come with their wives, and they will be the only women present. If each man is paid ₹5, each woman is paid 4, and each boy is paid 1 for attending the meeting, and Mr. Khan paid ₹200 on the whole. Find the difference between the number of men and number of women attending the meeting. Suppose the number of men is M, number of women is W, and number of boys in the meeting is B. So M plus W plus B will be 100. And in terms of rupees, 5M plus 4W plus B. Man gets 5 rupees, woman gets 4, boy gets paid 1. Total expense is 200 rupees. Now M and W will be related such a way that at least half the men bring their wives. So W has to be greater than or equal to M by 2. If 4 men are coming, at least 2 women will be there. So women could be 2, 3 or 4, at least half the men. Now if we subtract these equations from one another, 2 minus 1, 4M plus 3W comes out to 100. So we have to look for a solution here such that M and W are related in this manner. Now, M could be 25, W will be 0. 22, 4, cross adding and subtracting cross coefficients to answers. 88 plus 12. 19, 8, 16, 12, 15, sorry, not 15, 13, 52, 16, 48. Clearly, number of men cannot be number of less than number of women. So every option after this is eliminated. Before this also, we are looking for W being greater than or equal to M by 2. Here W is 8, M by 2 is 9.5. So not a possible answer. Here M by 2 is 11, not a possible answer. The only possibility remains with us is 16. So 16 men showed up, half of them 8. At least 8 came with their wives, and therefore W is 12, which is more than half. So this solution satisfies all our constraints. We have to find the number of men and difference between the number of men and number of women attending the meeting. Men and women, the difference will be 16 minus 12, which is not 6 but 4. Sorry. Option C becomes my answer. In terms of level of difficulty, actually, this is again a moderate to difficult level of question because we'll have to find solutions, multiple solutions, and from there look at the solution that satisfies our given condition. So about 2.5 to 3 minutes to answer the question. Siddharth has only 3 types of toys: cars, puzzles, planes. All his toys except 25 are planes. So 25 toys will be cars plus puzzles. All except 32 are cars. So puzzles plus planes would be 32, and all except 27 are puzzles. So planes plus cars will be 27. Basically, cars is C, puzzles is PZ, planes is P number, and this is the equation that we'll get. We have to find the how many cars does he have. So we add all of the 3 equations. 2 into C plus puzzles plus plane comes out to 25, 27, 52, 32. 52, 32 is 84. And therefore cars plus puzzles plus planes is nothing but 42. We have to find the number of cars. So we take this and subtract it from here. Puzzles plus planes is 32. Subtract, C will come out to 42 minus 32, which is 10 becomes the answer. Again, I think easy question, not more than a minute and a half to solve. A test comprises 200 questions, wherein each correct answer, each wrong answer, each unanswered questions carry 1, minus 1 by 3, minus 1 by 6 mark respectively. Find the minimum number of questions that a candidate could have answered correctly. Minimum correct if you scored 70 in the test. Suppose the correct answers are C, number of correct answers, number of wrong answers are W, and number of unattempted answers are U. Therefore, the total number of questions will be C plus W plus U, which is 200. And his score will be, he gets +1 for every correct, minus 1 by 3 for every W. So the total negative marks will be W into 1 by 3, and minus 1 by 6 for every unattempted question. So here the score will be minus U by 6. This is his total score, which is 70. Multiplying the entire thing by 6, we get 6C minus 2W minus U is equal to 420. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. Adding 1 and 2, 6 plus C. 7C minus W, U and U cancel, is equal to 620. So we have to maximize the value of C. To maximize the value of C, W has to be minimum. 620 is not, so basically 7C is equal to 620 plus W. So we look at the closest multiple of 7, which is, or the number multiple of 7, which is closest to 620. 90 into 7 is 630, and therefore 89 into 7 will be 623. 88 will be less than this, 616. And therefore, if W is equal to 3, that is when C will be 89. This is the minimum value that C will have, and W is minimum. As we increase W, the value of C will increase, but that is something that we don't want. What is the minimum number of correct answers that he has to have? He has to have 89 correct answers for sure. Again, because there is a equation for which multiple answers are possible, and we are looking for a specific constraint, I am saying moderate level of difficulty. But 2 to 2.5 minutes should be good enough to get the answer, because the last equation has a coefficient of W as 1. So putting the values will not be very difficult. Spending rupees 422, Ranjeev bought 35 pens among 3 varieties ABC. So if the number of pens bought of each type is ABC, we can say A plus B plus C is the number of pens, which is 35. Each pen of variety A costs 10, so the price will be 10A. Variety B costs 8, so 8B. Variety C costs 15, so 15C. This will be the total spending, which is 422. Ranjit, what are the maximum possible pens of variety C? Okay, so we have to have an equation C and another variable. We try to eliminate B. What I'm doing is I'm multiplying this by 8, becomes 8A plus 8B plus 8C is equal to 35 into 8, 240 and 40, 280. Now take this equation, subtract it from here. Suppose if this is equation 1, this is equation 2, we are saying 2 minus 1. 10 minus 8, 2A, 8 and 8 cancel, 15C minus 8C. 7C is equal to 422 minus 280, which is 142. What can be the maximum value of C? The maximum value of C will be when A is minimum. If A is 0, 142 is not divisible by C. If A is 1, C becomes 20. 142 minus 2, 140 upon 7 is 20. And this can be the maximum value of C. Anything beyond 20, this value will become greater than 140. Find the total. He bought the maximum number of C. Find the total number of pens of variety A and B. Since 35 pens were bought, out of which 20 were of type C, the remaining 15 will be A plus B. And therefore, if you maximize the number of C pens, A and B that can be bought are 15. Again, not a very difficult question, pretty similar to the previous one, and therefore, once we do a type of a question, I'm saying a follow-up question becomes a little easier, about 1.5 to 2 minutes to solve. Pankaj, who had 40 rupees with him, could buy exactly 4 pens. 4 pens, number of pens bought is P, or the price of each pen is P, the price of each pencil is C, and the price of each eraser is E. 4 pens, 2 pencils, and 1 eraser. This cost him rupees 40. If he had 20 more, he could buy exactly 6 pens. So 6 pens plus 1 pencil plus 3 erasers is rupees 60. Or he could have also bought 2 pens plus 3 pencils plus 4 erasers. This will also cost 60 rupees. 844. 844. 842. How much should Pankaj spend for 1 pen? Again, here we have 3 equations, 3 variables, so we can actually solve and find them. What I'm doing is I am looking at, first of all, equation 1 or equation 2 plus equation 3. This gives me 8P plus 4C plus 7E is equal to 120. Then I multiply 1 by 2, constant 2. So this becomes 8P plus 4C plus 2E is equal to 80. Subtracting these two equations, we get 5E is equal to 40, E comes out to 8. The price of an eraser is 8 rupees. If we put this 8 into the first equation, we get 4P plus 2C is equal to 40 minus 8, which is 32, dividing by 2. 2P plus C is equal to 16. 2P plus C is equal to 16. Similarly, putting 8 here, we will get 2P plus 3C is equal to 60 minus 4 into 8, which is 32. So 60 minus 32 will be 28. 28. Now, if we suppose this is equation 3, this is equation 4. If we subtract 3 from 4, 2P minus P cancel, 3C minus C is 2C, 28 minus 16 is 12. 412. Therefore, C will come out to rupees 6. Putting this value here, 2P plus 6 is equal to 16. So P will come out to rupees 5. 16 minus 6, 10 upon 2 is 5. We have to find the price of 1 pen, 2 pencils plus 3 erasers. 1 pen will cost 5 rupees. 2 pencils will cost 12 rupees. 2 into 6. 3 erasers will cost 24 rupees. 3 into 8. So 24 plus 1, 36 plus 41 is what Pankaj will have to spend to buy the requisite amount. Again, moderate level of question for the simple reason that calculation is involved and therefore the attempt time might go up to 2 to 2.5 minutes. Conceptually, not very difficult to solve. 8 years ago, Surya's age was 3 times his son. So today, T minus 8, Surya and son. If sun was x, Surya was 3 times 3x. Today their ages will be 3x plus 8 and x plus 8. 8 years will be added to both their ages. The sum of their present ages is 64. So 3x plus 8 plus x plus 8 is 64, which means 4x plus 16 is 64. Subtracting 16 from both sides, 4x is equal to 48. Divided by 4, x is equal to 12. So the ages are 36 and 12. Today they will become 44 and 20. After how many years from now will the age of Surya be twice the age of his son? Again, by simply looking at the numbers, it should be visible that after 4 years it will be 48 and 24, which is 1 is to 2. Hence the answer is 4. But even if that does not strike out rightly, we can say, suppose after y years this happens, Surya's age will be 44 plus y and sun's age will be 20 plus y. Y years after today, so t plus y. Surya is twice his sun. So 44 plus y will be equal to 40 plus 2y, which means y will come out to 4 years. So after how many years from now will the age be twice? 4 years from now, the age will be twice. I think this is an easy question. Would have done similar questions in ratios as well. Not more than a minute and a half to solve. Billu's father bought 3 oranges, 4 apples, 5 bananas. Suppose the cost of an orange is O, one apple is A and one banana is B for 62. So 3O plus 4A plus 5B is equal to 62. And his sister Pinky bought 4 oranges plus 5 apples plus 4 bananas. 4 oranges are 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5 for 72. What is the amount Billu will pay for 1 orange, 2 apples and 1 orange? 2 apples and 7 bananas is to be found. Difference here is 2. Difference in these coefficients is 0. Difference here is 6. So if I multiply this by 3, I will get the difference between O and B as 6. This will create the difference here as plus 3. The difference here is 1 plus 3. 5, 3 times. If I want to get 7 from B, 15 minus 8, 12 minus 10, 9 minus 8. Okay. So we multiply this by 2. Essentially, the difference between coefficient of O and B was 6. Here the coefficient is same, so multiplying will not change. If here the coefficient is difference is 2. If we multiply by 6, we'll get the coefficient difference as 3 as 6. If we multiply this equation by 3, then this becomes 15b. To get 7b out of it, we have to subtract 8 from here. 4 2s are 8. And that to satisfy other equations as well. So this first equation can be written as 9o plus 8a plus 15b is equal to 186. 3 into 62, 186. And the second equation here becomes 8o. This is 12a, not 8a. 3 3 is 9, 3 4 is 12, 3 5 is 15. 2 4s are 8, 2 5s are 10, 8 4 2s are 8 is 144, 72 into 2. If we subtract 9080 gives O, 12 minus 10 gives 2, 15 minus 8 gives 7. This is what we want, and the value for this will be 186 minus 144, which will come out to 42 rupees becomes my answer. Finding coefficients to multiply may not happen in one step. It takes a bit of attention, and therefore, I'm saying a moderate level of question with an attempt time of easily 2 to 2.5 minutes. if the total cost of two pencils, suppose the price of one pencil is C or P, one eraser is E, one sharpener is S. Two pencils plus three erasers plus one sharpener will cost 23. Four pencils plus five erasers plus seven sharpeners will cost 67. You have to find the value of 24, 33, and 27. Now, from here, I want to reach 27. That I can do if we multiply 7 by 3 and 1 by 6. This will give us 27. 5 3s are 15 plus 18 gives us 33. 3 here 12 and 6. 12 and 12 gives us 24, and that is our answer. If this did not work, I would have multiplied 7 by 2, 14, required 13, 1 by 13, and so on. So basically what I'm saying is multiply the second equation by 3 and the first by 6. Hit and trial to get one of these values. So 1 into 6 can be written as 12p plus 18e plus 6s is equal to 180 and 18, 198. And if this is equation 2, 2 into 3 can be written as 12p plus 15e plus 21s. This will be 180 plus 21, 201. If this is equation 3, this is equation 4. Simply add them. 24, 3 plus 4. This is equation number 4. So 24p plus 18 plus 15, 33e, 24 pencils, 33 razors, plus 6 plus 21. 27 sharpeners will cost 198 plus 201, which will be 399 rupees becomes my answer. 23 into 6. Oh, sorry, this will not be 198. 23 into 6 will be 138. So 339. 339 will be the answer. Calculation error. Again, the coefficients that need to be multiplied may not happen in the first try. And therefore, these kind of questions, I say, are moderate level of questions where it might take certain number of tries to get the right coefficient. But once that happens, the calculations are not very difficult and the question becomes very, very doable. Unless you make a mistake like I did, multiplying and getting 198 instead of 138. Therefore, 2 to 2.5 minutes to solve and a moderate level of difficulty question. If you look at the overall test, basically 6 to 7 questions net correct is what I'm looking at. For me, my easy questions will be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Which are these ones? Not counting this one because all the cases have to be checked. May not be possible in the exam. I'm counting this one because started with the easy number 30x and from there simple steps. This question could be a little difficult because m is less than, sorry, w is greater than m by 2 was a inequality which might be a little difficult to put down, and therefore multiple solutions looking for a specific constraint which was a little difficult to understand. Therefore, not counting this question. Definitely doing this one of the easier questions in the test. Similarly, this one as well, the constraint was simple. And therefore we had to just minimize one of the numbers, so would have attempted this. Similarly, here the constraint was very simple, maximize C, and the final equation was also not very difficult. So at the first solution, we were able to solve. So attempting this question as well. This question might take time, but because there are three equations, three variables, so we'll get us an answer. So counting this question as well. This was one of the easier questions in the test as it is. I'm not counting this question because here when you're looking at small coefficients in the answer 1, 2, and 7, the challenge is a little higher, as in you have to find two different coefficients and then subtract them to get required difference. But I will count the next question, which is 10, because here we just had to add and reach 27, which is a lot easier in that sense. So for me, 10 will be a sure shot question. 9, I might not be able to figure out the coefficients. Hence, my attempt will be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 for my 7 answers.